Hi class, this is a quick summary of the week 2 lab. I want to give you some hints or tips about the lab. What you're looking at is the page. Please make sure to review the grading rubric. I will actually go over that really quick, and we're going to be downloading a file. So let's get to it. I already made a smaller version of this page, and I already start working on the file. You're going to be looking at what the end result may look like for you. So we have the documentation sheet and don't really need to go over that. Then we have the loan data. Okay, in here you have these multiple calculations. This lab is heavy in calculation, is heavy in using the functions in Excel. We're going to be looking into the VLOOKUP and we'll be looking into the PMT function. You need to be very careful. Make sure you review the tutorials that go more in depth as far as how to use those. But I'm going to go over a few of them just to give you some information. So right now, actually, I'm in step 2 where we're going to create some of the calculations. That's where we are. Okay. Let's actually go and do the interest rate. The interest rate is a VLOOKUP, and basically what we're doing is we are trying to identify the interest rate that should show in here based on the loan term. That's what it is. So we have the loan term. We know these are the loan terms, but we don't know the interest rate. That's what we're doing. We're just grabbing the information from a table into here. That's what I'm going to show you really quick. So in this case, this is what the VLOOKUP function will open up. And what you're doing is, first of all, is what is the VLOOKUP value? In this case, C3 is actually the column of C3. That's what we're looking for. The table array is the table that you are grabbing the information from. So we're grabbing from A13, which is the loan term, until B16, which is the last interest rate. So it's this whole section right here. Okay, I'm going to actually cancel this out really quick because I messed this up. Make sure you put the money symbol because that means that is the absolute. That is the section you're looking for. Okay, and then the next thing that you need to add in here, if you don't do that and you do the auto filter, by the way, then it will start moving. So it will say A14, then B17 for the next calculation down. So that's why you need to make it absolute. This is very important. The column index, as even this kind of help section says, is what you are looking for. So what you're looking for, you're not looking for to show the loan term. You're actually looking for the annual interest. That's why you're saying column 2, because the first column is loan term and then the second one is there. That's what you're doing. Okay, and then you have the range lookup. In this case, will be false. That's what we're saying, true omitted or false exact match. So that's why we're saying false, because we want exact match. And you do okay, and then you do auto filter and you do everything there. That will be for the VLOOKUP. The down payment is going to do the same kind of VLOOKUP function, so you make sure you look into that. The amount to be financed is going to be a PMT. I'm not going to show the PMT in here, but I'm going to show in the next one, in the next loan calculator where it is. The rest of it should be fairly simple, because here's the max function, the mean function, and then the total to be financed is basically a sum of all of them. Okay, make sure you review the tutorials to see how to complete those. The next one is the loan calculator. Okay, in the loan calculator, and before I actually jump into that, let me just check really quick the rubric. As you can see, these are the things that I was mentioning in the other spreadsheet. You also have to do formatting, which I'm not going over those. You already kind of saw an example. Okay, and now I'm right here in create the new worksheet. So there are a couple of things in here. A lot of students forget to protect the sheet, so make sure you do that. At this point, I actually unprotected it. It was protected, so I could kind of go over things. Please do not protect fields that I need to click on. Okay, what you're trying to protect is this section, so it does your calculator. That's why you don't want people to delete or do anything. Don't protect the entire sheet because otherwise I won't be able to, I will take your points off because that means I can actually do the calculations. You have these fields that you will be entering. These fields are for entering the information. You need to put also a data validation in this because you don't want a price, I think is under 50,000. So a good test for you is that if I press 0 and then I hit enter, I will get this kind of information. This is a pop-up information that you need to work in your spreadsheet. So make sure you have that data validation. This is this one right here, the one I'm talking about. I'm not gonna over how to do that because that's what the tutorials are for. Okay, so that's one thing. You have the input sections, okay, and now you have the actual calculations. I just want to go over the PMT function because it can be a little bit complex, but it's actually quite simple. Okay, so what I want to do right now is actually do the PMT function, and let me just click on this little guy here so I can show you the function. The rate is basically E4, okay, E4 is the interest, and what you're doing is you are dividing by 12 because that's the number of months. Okay, we're doing this monthly. As you can see here in the bottom of the screen, they can say even that if you wanted to do by quarter, you could do just divided by 4. In this case, we want by month. That's why we're doing that. That's the rate. That's the interest rate divided by 12. Easy. Then the ampere is basically the total number of payments for the loan. Okay, so we have the years here, and what we need to do is do that times 12 because we want to put this in months. That's why we're doing that. Simple again. Now, the present value is actually the price of the home, right, minus the down payment. So you have price of the home minus the down payment and minus some additional money. You see? Because you can, that's the present value is basically everything you had, the price of the home minus the down payment minus the additional money. Please be careful with the absolute values in here, B3 and B4. These are these right here. Remember, if you do autofill and you scroll down, it will move down and it will break it. Okay, and the last piece of it is actually to identify if you're doing down payment in the payment period, at the beginning or at the end. And you can see here it says, if the B5, which is this one right here, is equal to yes, then give 1, otherwise give 0. That's what we're doing here. So this one is no. That's why the actual information we use is 0. That's why it shows in 0. Okay, and then you hit OK, and you will get the formula. Okay, that's about the PMT function. The next piece that you need to work on is actually the macro. Okay, and in the macro, that's this section right here where you need to create a macro on the button. I'm just going to show you really quick what that may look like so you understand. First of all, you need to make sure that you have the developer section in here. Then you create a record macro. You put a name to it. I'm just going to call it test. Hit OK. Then what I'm doing here is actually cleaning up the information and then a stop macro. Okay. I already have my macro. Okay. And then I can just link to this button that I create. I'm not going to go over how you create that. You can see where it says assign macro. That's what I will do the test. I already have the clear values. Now, if you want to test your macros, you can just run this. And let me actually just really quick undo this. Okay, and I can just click run, and it clears out the information. So I can see that it's working. Okay, as a recap, we're looking for 3 tabs: documentation sheet, loan data. Make sure you do the formatting, the images, the functions, obviously. And then next we have the loan calculator. There are 3 key areas you are looking for here. One is having the sheet protected, and also make sure you have the calculations correctly. And finally, the macro. That's what the That's what the information about the rubric will help you with this thing. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.